This week, we are talking about relief in the neck from any pain in the neck through mobility. So it's going to mirror a little bit of what we were doing last week. So a lot of the time we feel pain in our neck due to things like poor posture. And we get poor posture from looking at our phones like this. And you can see from the side, I crane my neck down. Or if you're at the computer, especially if you're on your laptop and you're sitting like this, your head naturally juts forward because your body tries to look at the screen. And the way we sleep too, I personally always sleep on my right side. I cannot get to sleep if I'm not on my right side, but it's killer on my neck because I'm in the same position the entire night. So I wake up with a stiff neck. But luckily, there are ways, three simple ways I'm going to go over today. Actually, six, three moves, three stretches that we're going to go over today that can help solve these problems. Before I get into that, I want to talk about a little bit about the two types of patients we tend to see at a PT clinic or a doctor's office or the orthopedist office, you name it. We see stiff patients and inflamed patients or hot patients. So one of the bigger characteristics of a stiff patient is the really, really tight muscle, the really, really knotted muscle that you see. That's what causes the poor flexibility, and that's what causes the pain. Inflamed patients are a little bit different because their muscle it's a little swollen, which is so to the touch, you feel that tenderness, you feel that pain. So in place of mobility, you can do something called SMR, which means it's self-myofascial release. And if you've ever heard of a foam roll, or you've heard of people taking lacrosse balls and kind of putting it up against the wall and releasing their shoulder a little bit, that's SMR, self-myofascial release. And we're going to go over that next week. But athletes who are stiff, I see stiff athletes all the time. Go for it. Go crazy with the foam roller. Inflamed patients, please stay away from that. Because imagine taking something as hard as a lacrosse ball and applying that pressure to your already inflamed muscle. We don't want that. That's a lot of pain. So, time to dive into it. Three moves we start with. Like I said last week, we want to bring blood to the muscles of interest. That's going to loosen them up a little bit, which is going to allow us to get a better stretch. Makes sense. So that's why we start with the mobility stuff. We start to move. Mobility move number one, flexion and extension. You're always, 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 in all the moves I'm going to show you today, you have to start with a tall posture. So your chest is high, your shoulders come back. And if you can see my swoosh is a lot more visible than it was when I was slouching. So you want to stand up nice and high. And all you do is you pull your chin in so your neck is in alignment. You see how my ear is in alignment with my shoulder? I'm hoping it is. I'm trying. I don't have great posture either. So what you do is you keep that in, you look down, and you look up. Now you can do this 10 to 20 times or set a timer for 2 minutes, whichever floats your boat. It'll come out to about the same amount of reps. Now, it might be tempting to kind of jut your head forward a little bit when you do this. So you might see this. And once again, that's just a result. That is a result of poor posture. So try to resist that. Try and pull that in. You shouldn't feel any extreme pressure when you're going up and down like that. Okay, move number one done. Move number two is side-to-side rotation. Same thing. Start nice and tall. You're going to look one side and then over to the next. And at your end range, you should feel a bit of a pull right up in here. You might not have a very big range at first, and that's okay. You're going to build up to that range. But once you turn and you feel your shoulder start to come with you, that means you've gone too far. Your body is actually changing its position to accomplish the range rather than the stretch itself. So you lose the benefit from there on. So you just stop right there once you feel the pull, right before your shoulder starts to move. 10 to 20 times, or a timer for 2 minutes is more than enough. Third mobility exercise and last mobility exercise is the lateral flexion extension. So it's almost the same thing as this. Start chest tall, except what you do is you look down towards your armpit, down and up. That's it. Nice and easy. Armpit, sky. Okay? Now that your neck is warmed up, let's move on. Stretch number 1 is called the upper trap stretch. Trap short for trapezius. So same thing. I'll say it over and over again a million times, and I check myself during the day for this. You know, if I catch myself slouching, I'll try and pull my chest up, and it's going to look like this from the side. So chest high. Now, you can either take your arm, put it behind your back like that, and this is what it looks like from the side, or if you really want a good stretch, you can take your hand and sit on it. So what that's going to do, both of those, putting your arm behind your back or sitting on your hand, is going to pull your shoulder down a little bit, which already starts to lengthen the muscle. So once you have it pulled down, I want you to relax. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Find a spot on the wall. Just block your eyes. Take your free hand, scoop it over your head, put it near your ear. Continue looking straight and just pull. And you want to hold this pull for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, relax and do 3 more sets. So you have a total of 4 sets of 30 seconds, 2 minutes each side. Now, what might be a little tempting about this is to kind of jut your head forward and lean, or backwards and lean. And we just want to let it drop to the side, because that's going to change the muscles that are being stretched. If for some reason you have trouble reaching overhead, it hurts, you have an injury, then let gravity do the work. Just let it drop to the side. Nice and simple. Stretch number 2, levator scap stretch, or levator scapula stretch. I'm pretty sure, scapulae stretch, there you go. I'm pretty sure everybody says scap, but whatever. Very similar. So pick an arm, doesn't matter which one, to sit on or put behind your back. This time I'll put it behind my back. Same thing, it's going to pull the shoulder down, which means you're pulling the muscle back a little bit. And this muscle, this one is what we're focusing on right now. Kind of to the side and back of the neck. Chest high, put one arm behind your back. Look at the armpit of the free arm, like you're going to go sniff it. Take your free arm, put it to the top of your head. Make sure your nose is angled. I cannot stress that enough. Make sure your nose is angled so you would just immediately smell your armpit, and pull down. So you'll even feel this one a little bit up into here, but you should definitely be feeling it over here. Would recommend wearing deodorant for this one, just in case after a workout you're a little smelly. That's fine. All right, stretch number 3 and last stretch, the SCM stretch. So SCM is short for the name of a muscle, and I cannot pronounce the name. I can spell it. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced sternocleidomastoid, something goofy like that. But SCM, what you're going to do is you're going to start like you're going into an upper trap stretch. So chest high, relaxing your neck, the tops of your shoulders. Put one hand near the ear, except rather than just letting it fall to the side, I want you to look up to the corner. So you're looking up at the same corner as the bent shoulder is. Then you pull. So you should feel it right up in here. You've got a big, thick muscle that starts right under your ear, and it wraps around your neck to the front, and it ends up looking like a necklace. Both. It's a really cool view anatomically, but I'm also a nerd, so yeah. So you should feel it right up in here. Now, if you do those 3 mobility moves and those 3 stretches, you will be set when it comes to pain relief. You can do it any point of the day. If midday you're at work and you're really feeling tight, like you're feeling pain back here because of sitting at the computer, looking at your phone, the way you write, take a few minutes, do them at work, do them when you get up in the morning before you go to bed. There's never a bad time to stretch. Okay, so next week we're going to be going into a little bit more of that foam rolling SEM I was talking about, or not SEM, SMR, excuse me, that I was talking about earlier in the video. Thank you so much, and I really, really hope to see you guys next week.